Square Media South Jersey puts a spotlight on local businesses. Made Anew Home Remodeling. Make your dreams a reality. MadeAnewHomeRemodeling.com. Dr. Lyle M. Back. For everything skincare to cosmetic surgery, go to ilovelyle.back.com. Comfort Now by Bob McAllister. Improve the comfort in your home. Call 609-400-1005 and ask about discounts, rebates, and incentives. Online, iwantcomfortnow.com. Maury's Piers. For tickets and passes, visit Maury'sPiers.com. East Coast Roofing, Siding, and Windows serves all of South Jersey. If you call, they'll show up. Call East Coast today at 609-646-1444. Online at eastcoastroofing.com. Thank you for supporting your local businesses from Town Square Media, South Jersey.
Sports is what we do.
You're in your car, you're in your house, you're wherever you are. You're a sports fan.
97.3 ESPN.
Because if you weren't a sports fan, you wouldn't be listening.
WENJ HD, Millville, Atlantic City. A Town Square media station serving all of South Jersey. This is Game Night with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app. Now, live from the Matt Black Kia Studios.
What a move!
Here's Josh Hennig.
Game Night is back for the final episode of 2022. I am Josh Hennig hanging out with you. We had to squeeze in one game night for the final week of the 2022 calendar year. Thank you for tuning in. 973 ESPN FM, 973 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of CIL. As Ryan Rosti mentioned about 10 minutes ago, the last game night of 2022 means we have to have Andy McNamara, because it wouldn't be a good radio show talking football if we didn't have Andy on the show. As always, you could join the conversation. 609-403-0973 is the text board. You can also DM the show through the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of CIL. Also, because I will not be on the radio until the calendar turns to 2023, I will give you often duplicated, but is nowhere as good as what we do here, the rapid fire picks to end the show. But first, we got to get to the latest Eagles injury news. And there was a major development today. If you didn't hear about it earlier today, Jalen Hurts was at practice. He was throwing on the practice field for the first time in almost 2 weeks. Now, he was limited at practice. He did not go through numerous team drills. So, but seeing him on the field in general is a positive. Don't forget, this is a guy who we have been asking questions now for weeks now. And, you know, Nick Sirianni keeps putting out there that Jalen Hurts is different than the rest of us, and he heals differently. And, well, guess what? Jalen Hurts was finally on the field. We could visibly see him out there. Does that mean he'll play this Sunday? There's no guarantee. We won't know that until probably tomorrow. And even then, we might not know, okay? If you had to ask me right now at 6:05 on December 29th, with the information that I have, I think Hurts does not start this week. I think they stick with Minshew for one more week, because Minshew the last 2 days has still been getting all the reps with the ones. He is still running with the starting unit. I think if you were hoping to have Jalen back this week, I think the idea is that he would have been practicing already. Frankly, I don't think you need Jalen Hurts, though. I think that you can get away with him not playing this week. Next week is a different story. But for this week, if you can't beat the Saints with Gardner Minshew at quarterback and Jack Driscoll at right tackle, then you got a lot larger problems than who your right tackle and your quarterback is. Because One, the Saints are not a good team this year. They have been arguably one of the largest disappointments in the NFL. The NFC South was supposed to be one of the better divisions in all of football, and there's not a single team over 500. The Saints offense has basically fallen apart at the seams for most of the year. The defense is basically keeping them in many games. And if you're the Eagles, you want to beat the Saints because you own their draft pick. You want that draft pick to be good. Now, on top of all that I just said, it's looking like the Saints will be very, very depleted on offense this week. Alvin Kamara missed his second straight day of practice, making his status not looking too good. Also, on offense, Andrus Peat, one of their guards, he has missed practice for 2 straight days. Ryan Ramczyk returned to practice in a limited role today, but his status is still questionable to say the least. And then on defense, 2 straight days, no practicing for one of their safeties, Marcus May. This team is injured. It's beat up. Don't forget, no Michael Thomas. They're without who was supposed to be their number 1 receiver. Chris Olave, even though he's practicing, he was pretty much a no-go last week because of a hamstring issue. So who's to say how close to 100% he really is? This is a banged-up team. This is a team that is in a bad place. You are coming home for the first time, Eagles, in 4 weeks. Remember, 3 straight weeks on the road. Giants, Chicago, Dallas. I say Giants because of the New York Giants, but they play in Jersey. The point is that you haven't played a home game in over 3 weeks. You should, have to, must win this game. There's no excuse. And whether Jalen is out there or not, it shouldn't matter. Because you're supposed to be one of the best teams in the NFL. You should win this game. And considering the Saints are even more banged up than you are. Now, if you're worried about the playoffs, I get that. And according to all speculation, the hope is that Lane Johnson, CJ Garner-Johnson are both back for the playoffs. The only bad news we've really gotten in the last 36 hours or 24 to 36 hours is that the Avonte Maddox toe injury may be a little more complicated than we previously realized. Because there are reports out there that his toe is simultaneously has a break in it in the bone, and he has slight tears to ligaments in the same toe. That's a lot going on there. So I don't know 100% what his status is going to be long term. I do think that there is a strong possibility he is back for the postseason as well. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised at all if they get a big lead in this game on Sunday. If they get out to one of those, I don't know, I'm just throwing out a number, 24-3 kind of leads, they could pull all the starters then. You could see Ian Book in the 4th quarter in the game on Sunday. I understand it's the NFL and anything can happen. But look at what's going on tonight in the NFL. Thursday football coverage begins at 7:30 p.m. right here. Showing your home for Eagles, Sixers, Flyers, NFL primetime games, and college football, 97.3 ESPN. The Dallas Cowboys are not playing Tony Pollard. Do they have to play Tony Pollard tonight? Not necessarily. It's a short week. It's not a full week for him. They played on Saturday. Now they're playing on Thursday. So they're not getting the full complement of 7 days in between. But the working theory was that you thought Pollard was going to go. Now he's unavailable. On the flip side, the Titans are starting Josh Dobbs. And if you're sitting in your car listening to 97.3 ESPN FM, or you're sitting at work listening on the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, I'm glad you're listening to us wherever you're at. You're probably looking at your radio or your phone with the app and saying, who Josh on earth is Josh Dobbs? That's the problem. And that's the other thing I want to hit on before I get to the break and we get to Andy McNamara coming up in about 10 minutes. And I'll get to your text in just a moment as well at 609-403-0973 and your DMs in the 973 ESPN mobile app. It's free thanks to First Bank of Sea Isle. The NFL has turned certain teams this year into such mess that they are just completely irrational. Completely out of their mind. Yesterday, we saw Derek Carr get benched for the rest of the year for Jarrett Stidham. And the head coach, Josh McDaniels' explanation is, well, we want to give the young guy a look. You're mathematically still in the postseason hunt. You're waving the white flag on the season. And you're waving a white flag to your entire organization. Meanwhile, in Tennessee, they put Ryan Tannehill on injured reserve for the rest of the year. They know that no matter what happens tonight, the final game of the year is still going to be what matters most. And instead of playing Malik Willis, they're trotting out Josh Dobbs in hope that Dobbs can be better than Malik Willis. Now, look, don't get it twisted. I liked Josh Dobbs in college. Yes, I remember Josh Dobbs playing at Tennessee. I mostly remember him because his major was basically, he's an astrophysicist. He's like a super genius with an IQ of almost like 200 and a GPA of over 4. But as a quarterback, he was actually good. During his last 2 years in college combined, he threw for 42 touchdowns versus 17 interceptions. He had a completion percentage around almost 63% over those 2 years. He showed you he has the physical ability to be a quarterback. The problem is that he got drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers, and for whatever reason, the Pittsburgh Steelers seem like it's the place where quarterbacks go to die. Because unless your name is Ben Roethlisberger, every quarterback that they have drafted in like the last 22 years has all turned out to be mush. So either the Steelers are the worst quarterback cultivators on planet Earth, and they need Howie Roseman quarterback factory to help them out, or Josh Dobbs actually is garbage. We're going to find out tonight. But the problem in the NFL right now is that you have these organizations that are making these decisions that only make sense to the people making the decisions. And one of the problems we have in life sometimes is that people are not making decisions because it's the right decision, but because they talk themselves into it or because they can't see beyond their own purview. They have no grasp on anything except for what they know and they can see. And they can't hear any other perspective. And we're seeing it play out in the NFL. Jeff from Ocean City chimes in on the text board at 609-403-0973, says, my confidence meter is 7.5 for the Eagles on Sunday. I like to see the defense hold New Orleans to 13. Looking forward to your rapid fire selections later. That's from Jeff in Ocean City. I think the defense should smash. I think they should go Hulk smash on them in the game tonight. Over on the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, Joe in Galloway says, Josh, I can't see Sean Payton going to Denver since New Orleans won compensation on draft picks and players, which Denver is void of. That's Joe in Galloway Township. Joe, the problem with what's going on in Denver is that I think it's less about who the next head coach is, but What is the organization's long-term view? They're another organization that's a dumpster fire. They fired their head coach the day after Christmas. And it's like you waited until December 26th to get rid of this guy. It took you until December 26th to realize that everything's been going bad. I mean, these people and their strange decision-making. Andy McNamara joins us for one more time in 2022. Next with me, Josh Hennig, on Game Night on 97.3 ESPN FM and 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Sea Isle.
The Capital One Orange Bowl on ESPN Radio. Clemson rolled through the ACC, finishing 8-0 and winning their 7th championship in the last 8 years. They'll face the SEC's Tennessee Vols, who began the season 8-0 with visions of a trip to the college football playoff. 6th-ranked Tennessee, number 7 Clemson. Coverage begins tomorrow at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
It's College Bowl season on 97.3 ESPN, South Jersey's home for the College Football National Championship game.
The annual Wildwood Fishing and Boating Expo is returning to the Wildwoods Convention Center January 7th through 8th with over 80 vendors. Doors open at 9. Admission is $7 for adults, $3 for kids 6 to 13, and under 5 is free. Visit fishingexpowildwood.com.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours.
Spilled your milkshake? Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up spills quicker. And each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less than the leading Ordinary brand. So you can get back to your milkshake.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than your
Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
This is Staples. So rumor has it that Staples has everything I need to ship.
Mm-hmm. We have all the shipping supplies and services you need.
Boxes?
Yep.
Mailers?
Yeah, and we have UPS here in store.
Huh. What will Staples think of next?
Right?
No, seriously, I'm asking, what will they think of next?
Staples is your one-stop shipping destination. Now get 50% off shipping boxes, mailers, or tubes when you buy 5 of the same item in-store or online with 1-hour pickup. Staples, the best-kept secret in shipping. Ends 12/31. Exclusions apply. Visit staplesconnect.com/shipping for details.
May old car problems be forgot in a brand new SUV.
Stop! You can't start the new year in an old car. Looking for some holiday cash? Then don't miss Matt Platt Nissan's Holiday Vehicle Buyback. It doesn't matter what you drive. AJ, the trademan, wants to buy your vehicle today. Regardless of the make, miles, condition, or situation, AJ will buy your ride for cash today. So treat yourself to a brand new Nissan Rogue. 0 down, 0 payments, 0 interest on every new Matt Platt Nissan Rogue.
It's on at Matt Platt Nissan.
Drive away with peace of mind, because only Matt Platt Nissan has a 4-day love it or leave it return policy. MattPlattNissan.com. Requalifications exist with approved credit. $2,778 per thousand financed on in-stock 2023 Nissan Rogues. Not all will qualify. Go to MattPlattNissan.com for complete details or call 844-917-4758. Price includes all costs to be paid by consumer except for licensing, registration, and taxes. Expires 1/31/23. It's on at Matt Platt Nissan on the Black Horse Pike, Egg Harbor Township.
I never write reviews, but Navage is so amazing, I had to leave one. Nothing's ever cleared out my sinuses as well. I'm blown away by how Navage works. That's a review from Carrie, and it's one of over 100,000 online testimonials praising Navage. I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I've talked about flushing out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, how Navage's powered suction can help you breathe better, and how your nose is the body's air filter, and Navage will clean it out. But don't take my word for it. What do people like Chad say, who wrote, Navage has helped clear out my nasal passages every single night. My wife says my snoring has gone way down. Snorefest be gone, unquote. Navage is the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million customers to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, Target, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
If you run a small business, you need the most from every investment. That's why Comcast Business gives you more. Like more innovation with our new gig speed Wi-Fi, plus unlimited data. More speed from the largest, fastest, reliable network for small businesses. And more savings, up to 60% a year with Comcast Business Mobile. All from the company that powers more businesses than any other provider. When you need more, you need Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Get started with fast, reliable internet for just $49 a month for 12 months with no annual contract. Or ask how to get up to an $800 prepaid card with a qualifying bundle. Call or go online today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. EcoBill and autopay required. New 50 megabits per second internet customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Mobile Savings compares pricing of top 3 carriers. Comcast Business Internet required.
You're listening to Game Night with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app.
Our NFL conversation next year on 97.3 ESPN with Andy McNamara on Game Night being brought to you by the original Piccalilli Inn on Route 206 in Shamong. Visit them on Facebook or at piccalilli.com for their pick game specials, and be sure to pre-order to guarantee your spot in Sunday's lineup. Nobody beats the Piccalilli on Route 206 in Shamong. I mean, it is the last show for me of 2022. So who else would I rather have on the show today than my buddy Andy McNamara? My friend, how you doing today?
Josh, an honor as always, my friend. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. Yeah, this is it for 2022, brother. We'll see what
tomorrow we got bowl games all day long on 97.3 ESPN. We got a triple header tomorrow. Saturday, I actually have a day off, quote unquote, a day off where I don't have to come in Saturday morning. And then I'm back to work on Sunday. But Sunday is January 1st. So there you go.
That's it. You have sort of like, Josh, guys like us, we never fully have a day off. You're always doing something. It's like half your brain can have the day off. Sort of.
Yeah. Because what happens is you have things to do.
Yeah.
So you just got to plan your life around it,
Exactly. You know what we can't plan our life around? What fantasy managers had? Derrick Henry being out, Josh. Derrick Henry that's what we call in the business a problem. That's a problem for fantasy championships. My God, the amount, I wish I had $1 for every note I had. What do I do about Derrick Henry? Nothing. It's hackathon. It's hackathon, and you hope the guy gets a touchdown from the one. That's it. That's all.
I gotta wonder though, who is the bigger loss for fantasy managers? Is it Pollard or is it Henry?
I would think probably Henry because of draft capital, right? Henry was your RB1. That was the guy and while not a perfect season, you rode him to a championship in some way or another.
But Pollard was like almost statistically an RB1 though.
Absolutely. And Pollard grew into that for sure. Like the value, I'd have to check, but I bet you if we calculated it out, the draft value from where you got Pollard to his production, I'd be surprised if anyone beat it. But you're right. Pollard's up. That means though, we look at it from the other side, for Zeke Elliott owners, this is all the target. This is great. This is all the workload if you're a Zeke Elliott owner. So this is a very interesting start to fantasy football championship weekend because there's a lot in and out for both of these Cowboys and Titans teams.
If I can repurpose something that Jim Cramer, an Eagles fan, says on his show, who are we selling harder on offense right now? Is it the Raiders with Jarrett Stidham or Josh Dobbs and the Titans?
Oh man. What a terrible situation. Stidham. Jarrett Stidham stinks, Josh. The people, NFL core. Yes. Is he statistically, is he, better than some guy down the street? I suppose. 61 snap, the guy, not NFL caliber starting quarterback, got boot skied. If he was any good, Uncle Bill wouldn't have let him go in New England. We know that. Jarrett Stidham, this kills it. You said, look, Josh Jacobs downgraded significantly. Devontae Adams, oh my God, he was already declining. Darren Waller's finally back. Now we get Jarrett Stidham.
Yep.
What's the under in that game for Raiders points? Can we go below 0?
I can look it up for you if you give me a minute. I can pull it up.
9.5 point favorites are the 49ers on the road. This is just going to be an absolute disaster. I would take the 49ers to cover. I don't care.
Well, that's the worst part. Like, it's bad enough you're benching Derek Carr.
Yeah.
But you're benching him against the best defense in the NFL. By the way, their over-under is 15.5. I mean, hit the under. Hit the under, baby. Come on.
You got to hit the under. You just have to hit the under. And now when you look at like Tennessee, it's like, okay, well, with the Josh Dobbs situation. Now, actually, I got to see Josh Dobbs in the preseason with the Browns. Preseason, we know, means nothing. Guy was kind of electric, to be honest.
He does have talent. I saw him at Tennessee. I mentioned where he came on, Andy. Over a 2-year period, he had 42 touchdown passes at Tennessee. And that was before Tennessee got good. So, and I mean, the guy had an over 4 GPA. He's got like a 200 IQ. He's basically a rocket scientist. Like the guy's basically like a nuclear physicist. He could build stuff for NASA, for goodness sake. So, but the problem is I feel like Tennessee is just kicking everything to the curb because they realize that no matter what, everything comes down to week 18.
Yeah, and quite honestly, with what I've seen on Malik Willis, I think right now, NFL ready to play, I like Josh Dobbs better. I do. I think Josh Dobbs is and again, the preseason, but from what we've seen compared to Malik Willis, we know he can move. You mentioned the passing stat. I think he's a better passer of the football than Malik Willis. I do. He's done nothing to impress me, Malik Willis. And they haven't why hasn't Vrabel? They let him run a little bit more. They let him force the. There's a reason that this game, and for Malik Willis, he hasn't been given more leash to do more because I don't think he's ready at all. And I think he's just I think it's more than that, though. Lamar Jackson. I don't think he's. I don't like him.
I think it's more than that, though, because I mentioned before you came on, like, unless your name is Ben Roethlisberger, like every quarterback drafted by the Steelers is like going to die, basically. Like your career just doesn't work. And it's like, I feel like there are just some organizations that are just not good at developing quarterbacks. Like the best quarterbacks in Tennessee since Steve McNair left, both came in from outside the organization.
Yeah.
You know, like Marcus Mariota had a flash in the pan and then nothing.
Yeah.
Vince Young was destroyed by Jeff Fisher. I mean, remember, Locker basically retired because of concussions. He got his head smashed into the ground too many times. And it got so bad that apparently he lives on a farm that's away from cell signal. And so he can't watch football, basically.
Wow, really? Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, that ESPN story was like disturbing, honestly.
Oh, poor guy.
Like the guy literally was like, I want nothing to do with football over again. Like basically like his experience with the Titans ruined it for him. So like, you know, this organization literally, like them and the Steelers can't develop quarterbacks. So like, it's hard for me to judge Malik Willis too much because it's like, you went to the Titans, bro.
Yeah. It certainly was not a good spot for him to land. That's for darn sure. But
I mean, Browns quarterbacks have had more success in the last 22 years than some of these guys.
That is saying something. We all know about that jersey, the list of 30 whatever quarterbacks since 1999. It just looks like Josh, for this game tonight, I'm slamming the under. Slam it, people. Okay, get your hammer out and slam that under, because I think with this game, the Titans aren't going to be able to score any points because unless the Sakasan goes absolutely crazy, but maybe he does. The Cowboys will get up to a point, right? But then they'll just dial it back, Josh, right? Like you can get up by 10 and then you just sit on it if the Titans can't move the ball. I actually kind of like, I'm seeing the line 13.5 Dallas to win. I kind of like the Titans maybe to cover that, not from any of their own doing, but just from Dallas taking the foot off the gas at the end and just winning without having to really run away with it.
So a buddy of mine who works in Vegas always talks about game. If it's a math problem, stay away from it. And you look at the team totals in this game, it's 26-12. That adds up to 38, does it not?
Yes. My bad.
So why is the over under 40?
Ooh. Oh no, does Vegas know something, Jeff? This is where I get my mind into riddles. Vegas always knows.
To me, I would not touch the over under. I know I'm the over under king but people know me, but I would say if I'm going to play something, I would play the Cowboys spread, because there's a possibility that this game is like 35-10 at the end. And you're going to be crying at home watching Amazon Prime, not because the post-game show is taking so long, but because you hit the over when you wanted the under.
Right. If the Titans, well, actually, I was going to say the Titans defense, but they're missing some folks too there, right? They're
yes, they are.
Guys. So That's a good point. Maybe that's why Vegas has a little bit higher, right? It seems like an odd game.
It's an odd number too.
Yeah, it is. It's a weird number.
And by the way, for those who are wondering out there who are if you're jumping on like your phone right now, one book has the game Cowboys 13.5. One book has the Cowboys 10.5. One book has it 14.5. One book has it 12.5 here in New Jersey. So that in of itself tells you that this thing is flopping all over the place like a fish.
Yeah, this is getting weird. I'm looking at ESPN right now, and it has 13.5. But that's interesting. So that's all of. Yeah, this is the more you talk about it, Judd, this is getting a little strange, right?
I'm just trying to save you and the people some money. Okay, that's what I'm trying to do here.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I'm still gonna bet the under, but I'm going to. I will give you credit. I'm still gonna do it, but I will publicly give you credit if it goes over.
Well, you could tease it.
Yeah, I think it could be. I think you could be correct, but damn it, I'm still gonna do it.
You could sit there and tease the number and just mess around a little bit,
Yeah, do the in game or something. I don't know.
Really quick, let me hold on while we say that. I'm gonna look up who's the bowl game tonight. Maybe you could tease the bowl game with this one. So tonight is Texas versus Washington. Now we know Texas's quarterbacks are already transferring, so they don't have any quarterbacks going tonight. Washington has their quarterback. Oh man, +3. Penix is supposed to play. Hey, you might want to ride that, Andy. I would say if you were to tease the Washington +3 with the Cowboys Titans 40.5, and you yank that number around, you might have something.
This is making a lot of sense, Josh. You know what I half love, because there's so many bowl games now, and there's only been a lot of bowl games, but now they used to seem to be sort of try to match up like a name with it, so it makes sense. Now they just don't care, and I love it. The 3 tonight, Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl. I want that trophy. What is that? Someone wins yeah, man, Grandpa for 30 years. Yeah, I was the Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl MVP. How about the Cheez-It Bowl? That's an all-timer. I love that.
Citrus Bowl. Yeah, I love the Citrus Bowl.
Citrus Bowl, Duke's Mayo Bowl. Sounds tasty.
That was that's gonna be on tomorrow on 97.3 ESPN.
Oh, Josh, this is a real one. Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl.
Yes.
What?
At a previous radio gig that I had, we had that game on every year because the network that carries the radio call was one of our affiliates.
That's great. Like I want to see the bowls. I want to see the trophies. These are great. I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna have all of them on the back. Like I don't really care who wins or loses those ones, but I'm gonna have it on in the background. I just like anything with football is keep it on, especially if this Titans Cowboys one's a stinker.
Oh, it's gonna be a stinker.
Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl. Who's with Minnesota? Come on. Oh, that one happened already. Oh no, yeah, that one happened today. Oh well, spoiler tonight. Folks, Minnesota beat Syracuse.
No, I'm talking about tonight's game, Washington and Texas.
Yeah, that one, and then the Cheez-It Bowl. That one's tonight too.
That's the Cheez-It Bowl I'm talking about?
Yeah, no, you're talking about the Valero Alamo Bowl.
Okay, so Valero. Okay, so you get a car out of it, right?
Ooh, okay, see, that's not bad.
Actually, I don't know what you get out of it at all. I think Valero is gasoline in the South, right?
So what's cheese? You get Cheez-It? You know what? That one makes sense because you could literally give Cheez-It in a bowl. They should just fill the trophy out.
So the winner gets Cheez-Its dumped on him.
That's sensational.
It's like it's like the team that won the famous Idaho Potato Bowl was Eastern Michigan, who, by the way, was a pick that I made here on the radio on 97.3 ESPN. Right. Well, because the whole thing is, I told people all the time, Andy, if a coach is retiring, pound that team because the players are going to play for him for the last game. But they poured French fries on the winning coach at the famous Idaho Potato Bowl.
That's great. Did you know there's 2 Cheez-It Bowls? LSU's playing Purdue. Cheez-It Citrus Bowl. They can have 2?
Yeah. Well, if you spend enough money.
No, I guess so. How many Cheez-Its? Wow.
Well, because I think they're both in the same stadium. Yeah, they're both in the same stadium. It's at Camping World Stadium. And Cheez-It has a big sponsorship deal, apparently, with that stadium.
Listen, we're giving Cheez-It too much free airtime. You got to pay for this segment, Cheez-It. No more free plugs.
Would you rather me give more plug to the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl, which you can also hear tomorrow on 97.3 ESPN?
You get your taxes done for free if you win. That's it. Be perfect for all those NIL deals.
Is it bad? Is it bad that I'm old enough that I remember that the Orange Bowl used to be sponsored by AT&T and not Capital One?
Wow! Now that you mention it, I remember that too. Jeez,
I remember it was
time to be alive.
You had the bowl of oranges, and you had the AT&T symbol right under it.
Right underneath. Fantastic marketing. Fantastic. You know what? These games, they're just fun. There's just football. You know, the playoff though, man.
Playoffs.
Look, I want my Ohio State Buckeyes to win, but I'm not liking it, Josh. Can you give me any hope?
Here's the hope that you have. Georgia's been sitting around hearing how great they are for a month.
Okay.
Last year, they didn't have that. Last year, it was Georgia got smashed. Remember, it was in the SEC championship game against Alabama. So they had a month to get angry and mad and pump themselves up. And you had like 20 guys from that team drafted last year. And this year, what's been happening? Stetson Bennett was at the Heisman Trophy ceremony. Half the team got some sort of, finalist for an award. They might be smelling themselves a little bit. Meanwhile, Ohio State thinks they're the underdogs. And, they're walking around being like, nobody believes. They're trying to pull their best Jason Kelsey. Nobody believes in us, and we don't care. So it might be an emotional, psychological edge that Ohio State has that they may come out and try to punch them real hard. Because remember, why did Ohio State lose the Michigan game? Because they gave up so many big plays.
Yes.
So if you just don't give up all those big plays, how different is that game heading into the fourth quarter?
Wide, like Josh, wide open plays in that Michigan game. Disgusting. Just like those big shots. You're right. And like you said, underdog. That's a team that's a university that's not used to being in the underdog role. So it is a new message. It's not like you're, some little something Central State, whatever, and you're always the underdog. Ohio State's usually one of the favorites, and now they're not. So that could be interesting. That's a game to what's that? That's Saturday. It's tomorrow.
By the way, I have a crazy stat for you.
Okay.
Did you know that Ryan Day has more career wins than his age?
Really?
He has 45 career wins.
Huh.
He's 43 years old.
That's a heck of a stat. Jeez.
I got that from ESPN this morning, so I can't take credit for that.
Let's see if they can do one more. That'd be huge. You know what? Ohio State beats Georgia. This national champ turn on its head. Who knows?
Well, here's the thing. If it's Ohio State, Michigan, how crazy is that viewership number going to be? Because for those who don't know, bowl game viewership across the board is up 12% this year.
Oh.
Compared to previous years. We saw that over the weekend. Cowboys-Eagles Christmas Eve got 28 million people watching. On Christmas Day, that horrible game between the Rams and Broncos had 22 million households watching that game, and only 6 million people watched Bucks Celtics. So let me ask you a question. If it's Michigan, Ohio State, how many people are watching that on a Monday night with nothing else going on?
All the people, all of them, all the people are watching that one. I mean, and you know what? That game would have such impact because Ryan Day, on the hot seat, from Ohio State fans, right? And so it's like, okay, can you beat Harbaugh? That revenge. Okay, does TCU have a shot? Do you think?
The only shot they have is that Michigan doesn't have Blake Corum out there, and TCU's defense, aside from 2 games this year, has played really well. So this could be a rock fight. I don't see many. I don't see, that old phrase, how many paths are there to victory? I don't see a lot of paths to victory for TCU at this point.
Right.
Because the other problem is that Ohio State ran a lot of man to try to confuse JJ McCarthy in that Ohio State-Michigan game. Does TCU do the opposite and try to run zone to force him to think more and then hope that their blitz gets there? Maybe.
You got to try it. I think you have to try that. And really for Ohio State, you have all the talent is there. The defense isn't as hard as it's been in years past, but and you don't have Njigba Smith. I don't think he's playing. So you don't have but you've been without him for several weeks anyway. So you have the talent there if you're Ohio State and Georgia. You're talking me into this. You know what? I'm not going to put any money on it. I'm not going. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm too nervous. I wrote them off, and now you got me thinking about that because Georgia said, you know what? This is what it is to be a fan. This is like what for me to be a Browns fan. I taught myself in every game. Oh, they can win it if a lightning hits the quarterback, and that's playing what? By the way, fantasy football playoffs, John. Brian Robinson. If you don't even think about it, Antonio Gibson's probably not going to play. Has a bum foot, and Robinson's been getting the plays. The way he is built, the size, the strength, and the way they use him right up the middle is the Browns' Achilles heel when it comes to run defense. That guy could win you a championship. He really could.
Before I let you go ahead and give your best fantasy football plays that do not involve tonight's game.
Yes. Okay. So I'm saying that do not. Thank goodness. I was filling out a DFS lineup, and I was like, where am I putting I had the only Tennessee Titan I had was Hassan. That was it. I wanted nothing else to do with it. So if we're looking Brian Robinson, I do like Donovan Peoples-Jones for the Browns. We're sticking with that game. He's been getting more and more chemistry. David Njoku as well. Extra motivated. You're feeling that bit of motivation. He's a little more edgy. So I like that. Don't be afraid, even though Cardinals Falcons is going to be a stinker, don't be afraid to play James Conner. Just go Algier as well. Play him. Lions and Bears. I'm feeling a little Cole Kmet. I think that could be a nice little play. And the 52 over under, I hope that goes over because that could be a ton of fun. And really for the other one I wanted to say was for the Dolphins. Don't worry about Jalen Waddle. People are freaking out, Josh, on my timeline about Teddy Bridgewater going in. Teddy Bridgewater is good enough to keep the pieces around him fantasy relevant. He's done it before. He popped over 20 fantasy points in week 6 when he filled in last time for Tua. And in that week, in his best week, you had Jalen Waddle go for over 100 receiving yards. Even though that New England defense is always tough, don't be afraid to play the Dolphins.
I'm going to give you one because you left the same out. Dallas Goedert. Because Gardner Minshew is getting all the first team. He had one practice last week, did Minshew.
Yeah.
Now, Minshew is getting multiple days of practice with the first team. This is Goddard's first full week with the ones as well. This might be a big Goddard game. I'm just saying, Marcus May, the safety for the Saints, looks like he might not play.
I love Dallas Goedert. I think Devonta Smith as well. Like it's especially with how thin tight end is. You don't have too many choices to get cute. I will say this: Tyler Higbee's available in 31% of most leagues, and Tyler Higbee has done nothing all year except
until Baker Mayfield showed.
2 weeks in a row, 3 touchdowns. Come on, right? I would rather play him over a whole bunch of guys. I would still rather have Dallas Goedert based on talent and consistency. But Tyler Higbee's another name. If you're in tight end trouble, take a look on that waiver wire. Maybe he's sitting there.
That's a good point. At Andy MC81, he's Andy McNamara. We just went all over the place. We had a football segment. We just ran all over the place, Go buy some cheeses, do your taxes with Tax Slayer, and go get a Capital One card so you can buy some Valero gasoline for your car.
That's right. All over the place. Let's go. Let's see how much of a stinker this one is tonight. I'm just curious on how bad Tennessee is going to be. That's what I'm thinking.
Andy, I always enjoy you jumping on. You've been a great part of this show again this year. I appreciate you. Happy New Year. We'll talk soon.
All right, buddy. Happy New Year to you too. Appreciate you, all the listeners. Happy New Year.
Josh Hennig here on Game Night 97.3 ESPN FM and 97.3 ESPN mobile app, being brought to you by Jenkins & Sons. One call does it all. No need to call the drain guy, the heater guy, the plumbing guy, because Jenkins technicians are trained to do everything from heating and air installation, service and maintenance, ductless air systems, water heaters, boilers, leaks. Whatever you need done, Jenkins has got you covered. 609-641-6262 and online at jenkinsandsons.com.
Ian Eagle here from Thursday Night Football on Westwood One. Coming up from Nashville, the Titans host the Cowboys. Tennessee is coming off a 5th straight loss and is now in a battle for the AFC South lead. Dallas has clinched a playoff spot and kept their NFC East hopes alive with a bounce-back win last week. Join us for the Cowboys at the Titans on Thursday Night Football.
Listen to Thursday Night Football on 97.3 ESPN. Coverage begins at 7:30.
Matt Blatt Mitsubishi in Glassboro offering you huge discounts. Now you can get a great deal on a brand new Mitsubishi. Online at mattblatt.com.
The Venture X card from Capital One gives you premium travel benefits, perfect for seeing Taylor Swift the Eras Tour. Presented by Capital One. Ooh, I do love her. Earn 5 times miles on flights and 10 times miles on hotels through Capital One Travel.
Enjoy your stay in Suite 13.
Whoa, 13? That's Taylor's lucky number. The Venture X card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
I never write reviews, but Navage is so amazing, I had to leave one. Nothing's ever cleared out my sinuses as well. I'm blown away by how Navage works. That's a review from Carrie, and it's one of over 100,000 online testimonials praising Navage. I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I've talked about flushing out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, how Navage's powered suction can help you breathe better, and how your nose is the body's air filter, and Navage will clean it out. But don't take my word for it. What do people like Chad say, who wrote, Navage has helped clear out my nasal passages every single night. My wife says my snoring has gone way down. Snorefest be gone, unquote. Navage is the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million customers to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, Target, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
Hey, the holidays may be almost over, but there's more reason to celebrate. I just went to Kohl's, where I saved up to 70% on clearance and got too much cool stuff. Like cute home goods, jeans for my whole fam, a cozy sweater for myself, a pair of boots for my husband, and more. Yep, Kohl's really is the gift that keeps on giving. Select styles, up to 70% offer ends January 4th. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Norman, before we start the surgery, I have some bad news.
What is it, doctor?
Well, I never graduated from med school, but the good news is it's the Xfinity Hello 2023 sale. Now hurry, because new Xfinity customers can get 400 megabit internet for just $30 a month for 2 years with no annual contract when they add Xfinity Mobile. And this will get your heart rate up. For a limited time, you'll get $500 back when you add a second mobile line.
I gotta get this deal.
Plus, get the best price when you get unlimited data on both lines.
That's amazing, Doc.
I know. I don't want to miss this deal. Let's reschedule.
Doc?
Drop everything and get to the Xfinity Hello 2023 sale now through January 10th. Go to Xfinity.com/Hello 2023. Call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Internet offer requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. After term, regular rates apply. Xfinity Internet required for Xfinity Mobile. Compares Xfinity Unlimited Intro to lowest price 5G plans of top 3 carriers. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes of usage per line. Data thresholds may vary.
The new year is here. Time for a change. Start a recession-resistant new career in the high-demand IT field with My Computer Career. In just months, already in IT? Build your cybersecurity skills and prep for thousands of open positions employers nationwide are desperate to fill. Attend classes live online or on campus, and financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the GI Bill. Make this your year. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. That's mycomputercareer.edu.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours.
Spilled your milkshake? Quick, the quicker picker upper. Bounty picks up spills quicker. And each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less than the leading ordinary brand. So you can get back to your milkshake.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours.
Bounty, the quicker picker upper.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit beefy, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-444-9336. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-444-9336. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-444-9336. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. For affordable term life, call 800-444-9336.
With GMF financing, to qualify buyers excludes Corvette.
It may be cold outside, but the deals are smoking at Bennett Chevrolet. It's our red-hot clear-the-lot year-end sale. While they last, everybody gets GM supplier employee pricing on new Chevys. That's right, everybody pays what our supplier employees pay and not a penny more. Even when other dealers are selling for thousands over sticker, Bennett is selling at GM supplier employee prices. But hurry, this incredible deal is on new Chevys and they will sell out fast. Save even more with rates as low as 3.99%, and every pre-owned's on sale too. This may sound unbelievable, but Bennett's paying a minimum $10,000 for the worst clunkers towards any pre-owned in stock. Yes, a minimum 10 grand for total Imagine how much you'll get for a trade that actually runs. And our non-commissioned sales team is paid not on how much you spend, but on your satisfaction. So you know you will be satisfied. Find new roads at Bennett Chevy, Egg Harbor Township, and BennettChevy.com.
Now, more Game Night with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app.
All right, final segment of the last episode of Game Night for the calendar year. As we mentioned a little bit earlier in the show, triple header of college football action the next 2 days here on 97.3 ESPN FM. Here's the full breakdown. So tomorrow, coverage begins at 11:30 a.m., kickoff at 12 of the Duke's Mayo Bowl. That'll be Maryland versus NC State. Following that will be the Taxslayer Gator Bowl, Notre Dame versus South Carolina, and then the nightcap will be the Orange Bowl, Tennessee versus Clemson. Conveniently, two teams that are orange are in the Orange Bowl. Saturday, following Billy Schweim in the locker room, will be Alabama versus Kansas State in the Sugar Bowl, followed by the College Football National Championship doubleheader, TCU versus Michigan, followed by Ohio State and Georgia. And then I'll be back on air Monday, New Year's Day, with Billy Schweim at yesterday's Creekside Tavern in Marmora for the Eagles pregame show. And then Merrill Reese and Mike Quick follows us with Eagles Saints this Sunday on 97.3 ESPN. All right, rapid fire time brought to you by Jenkins & Sons. One call does it all. No need to call the drain guy, the heater guy, the plumbing guy. Just call 609-641-6262 at jenkinsandsons.com. Thursday football, I like over for the Cowboys, 26.5. The Cowboys have scored 27 or more points in each of their last 5 games. It's a pretty specific trend that I'm going to run with moving forward. For the Sunday slate of games, I love Giants -5 or -5.5, wherever book you're using. I just think that the performance off from the Colts the other night, it just shows that no matter who the quarterback is, that team is a dumpster fire. Okay? Panthers, Buccaneers. That game, I like the under 40.5. I expect it to be more like a 20-17 or a 17-13 low scoring kind of game. I agree with Andy McNamara. Bears, Lions, give me the over 52.5. I like the Eagles to cover the spread on their game, the 6.5 on the number for them. 49ers, Raiders. I like the 49ers to win big in that game. I mentioned it earlier with Andy McNamara. The number for the Raiders is 15.5. I expect them to hit under on that team total. Let's flip it over to college football right now, because you know how much I love my college football. I told you guys already, I like Washington with the +3. Penix is going to get some playing time. It's tonight in Texas. I don't even know who's playing quarterback because both Ewers and Card are transferring out of Texas. I like South Carolina to cover the 3.5 in their game versus Notre Dame. They're a scrappy team down there. I like Alabama to crush Kansas State, so give me the 6.5 for Alabama. I like the under in TCU, Michigan. That over-under is 50.5. Give me the under for those two teams. And those are my rundown picks for the weekend. Thanks, Andy McNamara, for joining us. Thank you to everyone who has listened to me on Game Night on 97.3 ESPN all year long. You can follow me on weekend at Josh Hennig, and I'll talk to you January 1st, 2023.
We get it. You're not going to work just anywhere. You're smart, ambitious, and you want to help others. You want a place where you can thrive, feel fulfilled, and have an opportunity for growth, all while making an incredible living. Right now is the perfect time to join the team at Town Square Media as a marketing consultant. Join one of the fastest growing digital companies in America, where you get to help build client solutions with real local influencers and sell brands like TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. If this sounds exciting to you, let's have a conversation. Our comp package is amazing with unlimited earning potential, including base salary, mobile phone, auto expense, 401k match, trip incentives, and more. If you're competitive, driven, and have the ability to communicate great ideas, we'd like to hear from you. With digital advertising expected to double over the next 3 years, the timing could not be better. Reach out to Mike Rubel, Market President, at 609-910-5249 or visit careers.townsquaremedia.com. Town Square Media is an equal opportunity employer.